Personally, one of the most impressive things a human can do is not only play, but be good at 2, 3, or even 10 sports. Some of the best multi-sport athletes in sports history include the likes of Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Shaun White, Charlie Ward, and countless others. But today, I'm going to focus on drivers in NASCAR who not only made it to the top echelon of motorsports, but could have also gone pro in something else. Before I begin, I want to thank one person for video making tips, and that's I Have 40 Wins. He was helpful in a few facets of this video, and I also happen to love his content, so you should go subscribe to him. He is way better at this than I am, and he's also a cool guy to sim race with. The first athlete may not be a driver that you immediately think of, but Mike Cofer was a very successful NFL player who made a living as a place kicker. He went to college at NC State and went undrafted to the Cleveland Browns. He was ultimately released and picked up by the New Orleans Saints. He would then go on to play for the Indianapolis Colts and San Francisco 49ers. He was the NFL scoring leader in 1989, where he was also an All-Pro kicker, and was even a two-time Super Bowl champion in 1989 and 1990 with the 49ers. In 1993, after Cofer hung up the football helmet, he picked up another racing helmet and raced a few races in the former NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour. In his debut, he finished 39th at Sears Point due to an oil pump failure. The next year, he ran full-time driving the 79 for JMC Enterprises. He would not only win the pole, but would lead all 100 laps at Stockton Speedway en route to his first trip to Victory Lane. He would rack up other good finishes this season and would finish 5th in the points and would win the Series Rookie of the Year. The following year, Mike was offered a full-time ride in the newly formed Super Truck Series. You might know it now as the Craftsman Truck Series, but he would turn down this job to take a job with the Carolina Panthers as a special teams coordinator. In 2002, he would return to the racetrack, where he would run 3 races in the Craftsman Truck Series, DNFing in one race but bringing home a respectable 21st. He would then switch teams to race for Ware Racing Enterprises. You might know that now as Rick Ware Racing, where he would finish 26th in his final race. Mike is still the only driver in history to win a Super Bowl as a player and a NASCAR National Touring Series race as a driver. The next driver on this list is Edward Roberts Jr. He's competed in NASCAR for over 15 years, but it was his alleged 90-plus mile-per-hour fastball that gave him his full nickname, Fireball Roberts. Fireball had a good chance at a pro baseball career, as he was a highly touted pitcher for the Zellwood Mudhens in American Legion Baseball. He decided to forego this career and enter the U.S. Army Corps in 1945. He was shortly discharged after his second try at basic training because of his asthma. But even though his nickname came from his baseball career, Fireball ended up becoming one of the most decorated NASCAR drivers ever, as he was named one of NASCAR's 50 greatest drivers in 1998 and one of the 75 best in 2024. He was also inducted into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame and NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2014. In a sad, ironic twist, Fireball passed away in a wreck where his car backed into the fence at Charlotte and burst into flames. Shortly after this, NASCAR made it mandatory for drivers to wear flame-retardant coveralls while on track, a safety measure that has been expanded to pit crew members and all track workers at NASCAR-sanctioned events. The next multi-sport athlete on this list could very well be the most decorated. Not only did Travis Pastrana make 60 starts in NASCAR in everything from the ARCA East Series all the way up to the Cup Series, where he was oh so close to getting a top 10 in the Daytona 500 as he finished 11th after a last-lap crash in 2023. Travis is also known for having one of the most unique paint schemes to ever grace a racetrack in NASCAR. He was also a well-decorated athlete in motocross, rallycross racing, base jumping, free-ride mountain biking, powerboat racing, dirt late model racing, and even making appearances in Monster Jam. Basically, he was the new age Evel Knievel, as he wanted to try and run any and everything with a motor, and even things that did not have a motor. Travis has won 17 medals in X Games, 11 of which are gold, and his most notable achievement was becoming the first person to land a double backflip in competition at the X Games in 2006. This next one I'm going to tell you about is kind of shocking, especially to people who are fans of his, like my friend who helped with this video, I Have 40 Wins. Elliott Sadler had a long and successful career in NASCAR, winning 17 races, garnering over 300 top 10s, and was even named NASCAR Nationwide/Xfinity Series Most Popular Driver 4 times in 2011 and 3 straight times from 2016 to 2018. But before Elliott started to make a name for himself on the track, he made a name for himself on the basketball court. In high school at Brunswick Academy, Sadler was a six-sport athlete as he participated in cross-country, golf, soccer, baseball, football, and his best sport, basketball. Sadler was recruited by over 20 colleges to play college basketball and eventually accepted a full-ride scholarship to play at James Madison University. But sadly, tragedy struck as before his freshman season while on campus, Sadler had a knee injury that required 2 surgeries and led to his retirement from college basketball to focus on racing. Safe to say, even in his ups and very few downs, I think he ended up doing well for himself. Austin Dillon is a polarizing figure in the sport of NASCAR, making nearly 650 starts across the top 3 series of NASCAR. He's also been a part of some of the most, let's just say, memorable moments in recent NASCAR history.
There's the contact! He does get to him! The 11 on the inside! He gets into the wall! Dillon's gonna win it at the line!
But there is no denying that he is a good talent with 2 NASCAR championships, a Coke 600 win, and a Daytona 500 win under his belt, which is a better resume than a large majority of drivers who have driven a NASCAR can say. But before all of this, back in 2002 when he wasn't known for his racing and he was just Richard's grandson, Austin Dillon was quite the talent on the baseball diamond, as he still is the only driver to compete in the Little League World Series and race in NASCAR's top 3 series.
We have Austin Dillon, also the second baseman. You've also done some writing on baseball. What's that been about?
About the game. It's about life. It teaches you everything. It's the best game ever. A lot about life.
What are your thoughts at this point when you're about to start the World Series here in Williamsport? Your thoughts. What are you thinking about at this point?
I'm nervous, but it happens to all of us, so I'm just going to have to play through the first game jitters.
And you, Austin?
I'm ready to play and play ball.
That's right, play ball. Now, their parents are here. His father, Morris, is the manager. His parents are here. His grandfather, Richard Childress of NASCAR fame, is also in attendance.
Austin was a second baseman on the Clemens, North Carolina Little League team that made its way all the way to the 16-team Little League World Series in Williamsport. Although the time there was short-lived as the Southeast team went 0-3 in their pool against teams from Manhattan, Louisville, Kentucky, and Aptos, California, Austin was able to go 1-for-4 at the plate in 3 games that they played at Williamsport. Austin is quoted as saying, "Little League teaches you how to work with a team and put a lot of hard work and effort, and that's something that you could take into everything you do. I still use a lot of those philosophies that we used in Little League in everything I do today." In 2019, Austin was inducted into the Little League Hall of Excellence, which includes the likes of Cal Ripken Jr., Bruce Springsteen, Tom Selleck, Dan Quayle, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and even Kyle Petty. Lastly on this list is a driver that is still the only driver to make a start in NASCAR's top 3 series and play minutes in the NCAA basketball tournament. This is, of course, none other than Brendan Gaughan. Brendan made over 500 starts in NASCAR, winning 8 races in the Craftsman Truck Series and 2 in the Xfinity Series. Brendan was a Winston West Series champion in 2000 and 2001, the Truck Series Rookie of the Year in 2002, and voted the series' most popular driver in 2003. However, in 2003, a championship was ripped from his grasp after leading for almost the entire season, but let's just say there was some fishy activities such as owner Jimmy Smith and Ultra Motorsports entering trucks to serve as a roadblock to Gaughan to help their teammate Ted Musgrave win the championship. For a fuller and more in-depth breakdown of the incident, the Scene Vault on YouTube made a great video about this, and I'll put that video in the description down below. But before all of this racing, Brendan was an exceptional athlete and in 1994 went to Georgetown University to become the school's place kicker and a reserve on their college basketball team. Gaughan was able to make it into 25 games over his 3-year career, scoring only 5 points, 3 of which came off free throws, and he did play in 2 games in the NCAA tournament. Which doesn't sound that impressive, but Georgetown is one of the best basketball programs in the country, and it's really hard to play D1 sports, even as a walk-on. But most notably, he was teammates with Basketball Hall of Famer Allen Iverson. His final season, Coach John Thompson scheduled a game against Pacific University in Las Vegas and started Brendan as a token of his gratitude to the program. Georgetown would go on to lose this game 56-73. Brendan is widely regarded in the Georgetown community as the most famous walk-on the Hoyas ever had in any sport. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to make more content like this. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to comment down below. Have a good day.